tried. Gfinity tried something.
Most people would have still above them.
Maybe ProView. I can't remember what it was called. Okay,
Okay,
Crew on defense, NRG on attack.
Will be more than just ringing.
Crew are not messing around.
Whose pistol was this? For God's sake, I've seen 3 teams do this now. Either way, Crew decided to bring out the early push with the... Interesting they're doing 4 people. When I see this last time it was 3-2, but that's kind of cool. Oxygen and G2, yeah, that might be both of them. Might be both of them that did it. Damn, Kesnet is all over it. This is definitely doable for Crashies. 14 HP, 26 HP.
Impressive, but getting 2 in that situation.
He's got the perfect gun for it. It's just if he can get the killjoy.
So many players and Crashies with a frenzy. He might get
this is good as well. The longer he waits, the longer they're going to think that he could have gone literally anywhere on the map.
And now Crew are worried that he's gone for some kind of lurk play through Garage. You can see them clearing it out. If Crashies gets the timing to stab one of them in the back, it could have been doable, but instead...
Look at this. 45 seconds was left in a round. Obviously, it's Crew sticking together.
Yeah, Crew does unit. Unit at the moment. The problem for Crashies is he has no idea about anyone.
Active? No, but it might start becoming active.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, just...
Wakey.
Moves back in.
There you go, and that's going to spot it out. There's the swarm as well.
Oh, the mollies. Where is that molly?
Less likely, maybe a bit less doable. Dark going to be tagging them up. Wide swing just through the box. Swing not even necessary. Bit of a correction there. Clean pistol around here for Crew to take it away on Haven, a map that we attribute a lot of success for NRG on this one. They love to play it. It's the
I'm going to ignore it. I'm not sure. I don't know. Because it wasn't at the back. Or was it at the back on the floor? Yeah, it was the animation was on the floor.
But having said that,
yeah, we can put this up to like 80.
Crew have managed to pick up the first one. And it
might have been
just
right at the
clean,
back.
It was ridiculous from Kesnet. He's got a ghost at just tapping people down.
He was getting pressure. There was an aftershock to the side, yet still finds 3.
And multiple swings.
Yeah.
And I think also...
Okay, either way, nice round for Crew.
I
don't think you can get it inside this box, though. I don't think there's a way of doing that
again at the beginning of this round. But that was one of the cues that they used in order to throw the paranoia. And Kesnet's a confidence player. If you get Crew started, we saw the issue that 100 Thieves ran into with this team.
Yeah. Might look to run away with it. And honestly, a lot of criticism leveled at Crew as a team because they don't have the deepest map pool in the world. There's, 2 maps that they're really, I would say, comfortable on.
Belieberman's checked it, and it's literally just behind the box. Okay, thank you very much, Belieberman. We can put that one to rest, thank you. Can they get any extra damage on top of this? Planning ahead, getting some orbs.
Haven's not a map that I would really, say that Crew have a lot of success on. It's not one that they've looked too comfortable on in the past, so...
No, I mean, that's absolutely correct. That they really should not have a great chance here. But all throughout Super Week, Brent, every time
it's right, Des, people will forget about it.
We have an idea of where a team is starting to settle to. They upset the expectations. We've seen some ridiculous results this week. And this round, actually, 25 seconds left.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect him to go A.
From the A side.
So I respect that.
You
are going to get hurt if you run this, though. Turret's going to give them info. Might be able to get another plant here. Extra bit of...
Will we see any of that?
Extra bit of econ.
10 seconds remaining. The turret obviously notifying them that A
halfway to ult as well.
Still going to be down. Bit of extra money. Star drop down. So Som's got that to play around, weaving in and out, but Crew are going to make sure to remain.
Dude, how many stars he got? He's got another one as well. What the? It's 3 the whole time.
I believe fault line off the back of that util. Someone wants to take a fight off of it. Stunned up. There was an opportunity, but a flash turns. Som gets one down to finesse, but he's so damn low that
honestly, good round from them. Managed to do a good amount of damage. Yeah, look at this. There's a gun though for him, right?
Have a great buy heading into the next round. There's a Guardian, there's a Bulldog that they're keeping over.
Armor rebuys for this one. Gonna be a. We'll see how the bonus looks, but definitely good damage.
This is where you will often start to see the NRG train get rolling. I think Crew need to approach this first map with a level of disruption. Trying to get Kesnet into really aggressive positions and see if he can out-duel his opponents. get into Ardis's head early. Although, all the talk about the role issues and stuff like that for NRG, Ardis's jet in the last 90 days, the last 3 months, has still been extraordinarily good.
There haven't been too many issues there. It's a nice little play with a stun and a pull. Disrupts that one when Klaus was trying to get space.
Okay, nice early A control. Look at this reactive flow. With a ghost, taking a massive risk on the bonus. And this is some early info. Early info here as well, so they can stack 3 people here.
Turret broken, taking the contact for a player close here, and that's Davies on this angle. Another turret, as soon as it sees somebody, flash is ready, and there you go, strikes back, round the corner though.
Self-flash.
Pound for pound, yeah, it was a self-flash, blinded up. Push back though. While all this has been happening, Melza has been pushed
nicely
deep
handled
down C
from
long,
Crew.
so that's given them
This
constant
might
information, and it's allowed Crew to stack many of their players over towards A.
Look how eager Kesnet is to take the fight.
I wonder if, it felt like they wanted to go back and hit one of the other sides, but maybe because Ardis had popped his dash, they decided to go back. That's the only info that I could see was that.
Can they convert? Is going to be the question here. Through the smoke, it's a difficult one. How do you traverse it? The answer is you don't. Davies, he's got it locked down. Wider approach, wider swing, some covers. How are they salvaging it? NRG pulling in from the brink is what it felt like.
That's a very good dash from Ardis. He swings away, breaks crosshairs, and Som and Finesse trade him out. Or not even trade, I suppose. Ardis didn't even fall. Leaves it down to Melza. No gun. He was deep, giving his team information prior in the round.
Nicely done.
And Ardis cleans up. Good recovery from NRG there.
Very good recovery. When Crew was stacking up with 3 players, it felt like they had a vice grip on the entirety of that A site.
Their positioning, though, was so determined to make an individual play. Davies has got a great span through the smoke here, but look at how Ardis is... Oh, we don't quite catch it in the replay there. But yeah, Ardis' movement there at the default box just played the rest of his teammates in very nicely.
Right.
Here.
Big swing rounds. 2 people for NRG. Everyone from Crew can't buy next. So
once more. So keen to take a confident fight to try and get himself on the board early to gain those advantages for his team.
I like the fact that he decided to make some extra noise there. They trying to kind of make them use the actual drone as well to try and clear them out here.
Down into the ground.
Either way, enough question marks have been created here that they have to have 2 people at least, as we can see 3 people break the alarm bot over towards this as well, and they're now trying to clear out A so they can try and hold this with 2 or maybe 1 person if they get really lucky.
They used their Sober drone in that spot. Now they're starting to pull a little further away from the A side. Actually, Kesnet's still clearing it. Crew are taking so long.
Yeah, they've taken a long time to clear this question mark. He's not wrong.
The map is still quite weak.
Nags it. Surely you don't make a play here.
With the stun. With the stun. Okay, he was a little bit unlucky to not get another one there. But he was also kind of lucky to get the first one because he was in the open for a long time. Yeah, it was a weird round. Big Joel. What a big Joel.
He's got that consistency, and Crew have swarmed in a position noted.
Damn, Klaus managed to get 3 here.
That's Klaus coming up massive.
Love the smoke. They managed to flood the site. Yeah, did we get a replay of that? It was really nice.
Just finding his way through all of that utility that Victor had guarding the flank. Using his cloudburst to get over, up and around it. And Crew completely collapsed. I mean, that's the advantage there of having Kesnet play so aggressively on the A side, is that...
Yeah, that was really impressive. Right, that breaks the econ. That breaks him down economy-wise.
So this is a great start for Crew. They've got another opportunity here.
We got 2 hero guns, and yeah, they have a chance to build this up. But as we can see, their econ's not great either, so it's kind of close. FNS, if he gets an orb or a plunk, it's his ult. Crashies has his ult if they want to try and use it.
Defensive half on Ascend. They look fabulous on the defense half of Split as well.
Got to be able to maintain that form though when you're playing against top caliber opponents.
Nicely handled from Ardis. Did great. Nice util on top of this as well.
Set him up. Nice little 2-piece. Guns exchange on top of it. This looks like a flood attempt. Crew really trying to fight this one with a rolling thunder.
Oh.
It's used. Matched.
Yeah, they really want in on this one.
Now going to be pushing them even further back and still into this post plant. Nags, an important fight to be taken here into A lobby while the rest of his team is making a good go of it. That's Kesnet, I believe.
Oh, this is a very important round for them to win. They put a lot of ults into this in the end. No way. It's all up to Ardis. Holy hell. It's an impressive 3v4 retake. They ended up using 2 ults into it. Som's ult, FNS's ult.
Now on A, where that flanking player is creating a major distraction. This time Victor goes down, so the turret is not watching.
Yeah.
But still, the utility can't hold the flank. It pulls Crashies back away. Crashies loses the duel, and of course, you had Kesnet combining very nicely with Davies on the other side of things. It's been 2-pronged retakes in round 4 and round 5. NRG need to
that's
adapt
kind of
whether it's
enough start at the moment for KRU.
The flank really heavily. There's got to be some level of adjustment.
Got some ults coming into this one. Ardis does have the backup gun for his knife, so decides to go for straight up C hit, and KRU are going straight up aggro towards middle, so they could have a fast flank for this, and they're going to have no information as well. This is just a classic in terms of when you have the Sova ult. I always talk about it. Going C is good. You don't want to get hit by the tag. You know he's going to ult you, and then you just have to leave sight. So sometimes the pressure of the ult is enough for them to leave.
So fast to try and play into this one with the lockdown as a Hunter's Fury to just deny it.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness, the timing! Moses worked his way into the back. Well, Ardis
That's so crazy, that timing.
Safe hands, but
okay, absolute flawless. And they did end up using the Sova ult, obviously, for the Killjoy at the end of this one. So nicely handled from NRG as cool rounds, and that broke the economy.
Finesse with an early span through the smoke, and they had a reflank coming from Victor too. So NRG were trying to mix things up. Here's that reflank from Victor that you see. Able to get in behind, pick off Davies.
One enemy remaining.
Man, Crashy's recon was also huge there. He got 2. I think he got 2 assists from the recon.
Back in here.
Enough layers to the play.
Okay, KRU lose that one. There is an eco for them, and they decide to heavy stack C. They're a little bit worried that the C's been exploited with this. They want to punish over towards C.
I mean, so eager to take
this is a
fight.
gun kind of exposed on its own.
All the way through with that utility. Kesnet had the right idea.
He's so hungry for it.
The crosshair placement was good. Damage was done, but no kill found, and he wants that kill desperately. He'd love to claim it. Give him a nice early lead when the money isn't looking too great, but as the dash dissipates, does he still choose to take the aggressive line? It looks like it.
Yeah. He's got all the confidence in the world.
Just holding it for a wider swing towards the box. It's a double face.
Good damage so far. Damn. Damn, he got the kill through at the back. Still really good damage for him.
This is what we were talking about in that game where
we'll
KRU
keep an eye on this one. Still a heavy C stack, looking like NRG are going to choose the right side.
Still going to try and hard carry this team. So,
yeah,
incredibly crucial for NRG to find moments like that to shut him down when he doesn't have the initiator utility setting him up. This looks like a very simple round for NRG. Left. They've got all of the opening on the A site.
Yeah.
No weaponry for KRU either.
Yeah, starting to get some orbs back over towards Crashies as well.
Into that C side, but not the case. So they'll be just looking for the exit kills at this point, try and get rid of those rifles.
And not only is this a must-win match for NRG, I mean, KRU would love to as well get their first W on the board, but for NRG to live anywhere near their expectations, make playoffs, it's a must-win. It's also got to be clean.
Oh.
You know, map differential, round
not
differential,
the lineup.
Tiebreakers might end up being very, very important for NRG as we head deeper on into the season.
Okay, nicely done. Bit worried the KRU don't have the lineup for the damage underneath heaven here.
A 2-0.
We'll ignore
That's
it.
the kind of thing that NRG are going for. It's not just enough to win anymore. They've actually put themselves in such a hole that they need to be stomping these matches.
Yeah.
And they haven't demonstrated that quality on any of their maps apart from Haven recently. So it's going to be a challenge in the series.
They've been swapping around the roles on individual
maps. Yeah, I don't know why no one has the good aftershock heaven. I have no idea. Again, you can literally get all 4. Let me try and ping that back. You can literally get all 4 of the positions that force them out into the open.
Kesnet goes for another push into A lobby here. And he's going to end up being on the flank.
Okay, in terms of this one, another input 4. Damn, Kesnet is like everywhere. He's playing with just crazy confidence at the moment.
Team like NRG, Might not even be used to this kind of play style.
Probably good info as well that they need to push this back, and there's only going to be one person over towards it, so you're going to see them have the drone. Oh, they use the drone elsewhere.
Not just that.
Chad, do they use the drone to take early middle?
Hit the alarm button, go backwards. Kesnet is calling for Klaus to come so that
Yeah, that's weird that they use the drone early for middle, and they still want to have the double person here.
Lockdown though will start to
Maybe they didn't see the drone. Maybe they didn't call it.
And if the defensive opposition away from the site, so easy access for NRG to try and get
Two-person push. We're going to keep an eye on it. Get the plant down. Nothing to stop this. Walking crashes too.
Hold it down. The double face. Kesnet. There's no one else following up. He takes out the first, and Crashes expects it. Aftershock. Klaus pushed.
And Melsa got a kill over towards C long.
Fortunate fight for him, an awkward one at that. The Hunter's Fury. This is an awkward position to be taking that one and firing it off. He has to cancel it.
What a weird round at this moment.
But it's all over the place right now. Davies,
wait, no one could really peek this for a while.
Already half on the board, and he's sticking it all the way through. Where is the positioning of NRG to get off of it? So Victor, he denies it. Klaus, still alive, still getting the kill. That's a bit of whiffage. Round the side, Shorty in his hands. Victor lands a shot, lands a kill, 4 for him in the round. But
got a little bit close, but they managed to close out the round anyway.
It is, yeah. And
putting up a nice amount of rounds here. Another eco here.
Some good ideas
this was
on
close
how to try
though.
and stop Crew from getting these plays off.
I didn't.
But it is getting chaotic and scrappy. NRG post.
Okay, so basically, Crew didn't hear the drone middle, I imagine, or didn't see the drone middle, and that's why they called the Sova over. Otherwise, I think that's probably a different round with an extra person to hold B.
But as long as they're
Nicely done from Victor.
NRG will be happy with it because they've knocked Crew down onto another eco. And for Crew, they've seen other people beat NRG by going for these big individual moments, by winning the 4v5s, muscling their way back through.
That's what's highlighting it, you know, all the accolades that a team like NRG, or at least
yeah, he's still holding the alarm
achieved over the last few years, but it's a bit of a fall from grace with the current standings that they're sitting at. That's why we've been highlighting how important this match
garage
is
control taken
for both of these teams.
Big gamble for Crew at the moment, no A pressure.
Another repush from Crew here as they go through
and they
the
kind of walk out over towards middle. Omen flash, they did spot.
They know Artis is here.
Underhanded Nano Swarm, trying to dead it out. They know the players are here, but what do they even have to take the fight towards them? Flashes back and forth, Kesnet at the back of the site.
Yeah, they want to flood site. 2 people. I mean, Ashley Util's great. Ashley Util stops the flood.
Might do a decent amount of damage, but kill found onto Crashes. That was through
gun down in garage, so everyone wants to kind of duel, make sure they don't get it.
Angle down, prevent them from getting that gun, prevent them from gaining any more space. He does just that. That's an exit. Gets the one. Still alive. But with the triple face.
Alright, nicely handed from NRG. 4 in a row at the moment. Looking much better into these.
For NRG here.
Crew, another one. I wonder if they're going to time out.
Really
Feels like they need to kind of change something up. This might help them a lot though.
They got the pistol. They got some good value in the retakes round 4, round 5 by flanking, by playing aggressive on defense and having flank retake setups. And since then, they've lost 4 in a row. 2 gun rounds and 2 eco rounds. So it does seem like a reasonable time for Crew to call the tactical. See if they can get a different look here.
A crazy thing about Crew as well, I mean, as a team, they don't seem content to ever just really hold space that they've got.
No.
They seem
Killjoy nerfs, I think
very
they're fine.
content to push.
Yes.
And
we'll see how much they affect anything.
100 Thieves. It's how they got onto that
again, it probably does need some tweaks, so it's good to see that we're slowly doing them.
To stop those deep pushes, and they were heavily grouped up and reflanking. And it really does, it's almost like bringing your opponents down to your level when you go against the grain with the flowchart of how you expect the round to go, and Crew are taking all that space in fights that are just unusual. And yeah, I'm kind of seeing elements of that here so far early on, because there's a lot of those deep pushes where Kesnet is just, taking risks. He's guilty of it, of, just overheating from time to time.
But also it has been putting pressure on NRG, and I think your expectations in the series
Lewis,
are
I'm doing
NRG
good, mate.
should be
How you
vastly
doing?
better map 1, and then we'll see what happens, map 2 and map 3. Yeah.
How the
Crew
game's going for
certainly
you,
have
actually
their
haven't
chances
checked in.
Series, but this would be the most favored map, arguably, for NRG. And that means that if Crew can find a solution in the
Money's
final 3 rounds,
money's
make
good
this
for the rest of the half for
they're
NRG.
doing a lot better
Kesnet
than
manages to get the
maybe
op out,
NRG would have been
changing how
thinking.
they play at the
Then
moment. We're
the
looking to
demons of
try
doubt
and are we trying to just get an
potentially
orb
start
over towards C?
rearing their head, because we know that NRG
Creating
are
pressure like we're
very
going
aware
into
their
the site.
performance has not been up to scratch.
These C hits have been good for NRG. They use order util to clear necessary angles apart from that one. Tags it close to the corner. There wasn't clearance, and the dart's a little bit late. It's a little bit delayed.
Exactly. That's what I was going to point out. The recon dart was never there, and that's the thing that normally clears that corner. Nags didn't have a solution for it. It would have just had to break the recon.
Oh, the timing's weird on
Instead,
this
they
one.
get themselves into a 5v4.
So I'm pretty sure NRG thought that they were going to go heavy A with a lot of people that C would be weak. But then they had a weird hit where they kind of had one person here, one person here, and only two kind of committing to it, or the Jet only committing. It was just like kind of just sending artists into his death.
NRG to start now creeping and crawling all the way through A long.
I don't think he
Not
actually
a
did break
chance he
any
expects him
utilities. The turret was
close.
down on C, the alarm bot's garage. So I
We'll
think
see how long
Victor's
he
just
holds
snuck
this
the
for.
timing in here. They're aware of it because they
NRG
know
is
that
still
it
in
was
a really good
hole in
spot
their
to win this
defensive
round.
setup. But how aware are they?
And his timing. Oh, Victor.
Perfect.
He's good for it.
30 seconds
Now he needs
left.
to do the damage. Oh my god! Not like that! I mean, well, gets away scot-free. No one watching the body. Not having the necessary protocols in place if you are crew. Gotta expect that still. It's a 4-on-4. Anything could happen in this moment. It comes down to those individual shots being landed. Som, slide off angle, wins his duel.
Damn, it fell apart so fast for Crew here. They were 4-1 up.
Getting into these post-plant
Yeah,
scenarios.
5 rounds in a row so far.
It does, yeah.
Devastating.
I mean, it also
Another
helps
round
for
where they have to
Victor
go
get a
down.
knife kill.
Eco, they got
I will
Nice.
say, Victor has been that extra element in almost all of these
Cash bonus for Nice. Yeah, I honestly think it should just give, maybe not cash,
Mid.
Yeah, he's given a lot of
but
freedom in this
because I think
competition
economy is kind of
specifically.
important. But I
He's
think
not
an extra orb
initiator
kill,
that needs to set up Artis.
like
Artis has
two
the entry,
orbs
and
for a
Som
knife,
tends to play
I would be
tighter with
fine
the
for it.
pack.
One enemy
The
remaining.
lurk player
That's
has
where I'm at with
become
it.
Victor. And then think about how it swaps moving into map 2, where he becomes the entry. This is
all over the
why.
place.
This is why it's so difficult.
Okay, they go for the same strat. They're kind of just faking over towards C. They send Artis in and they're waiting for the instant reaction. They realize that Kesnet is playing super aggro and they want to try and punish that. And there we go. That's the punish that they were waiting for. Trying to just play off Kesnet just being way too aggro. So now that round before kind of makes a lot of sense. And honestly, like I commented on earlier, right? He was playing with stupid confidence. So yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, you're just going to be pushing with no remorse, no care in the world for your own life? Okay, sure.
And they didn't have the alarm bot up, right? So he thinks he's owned it.
He's gonna
It's pretty,
push.
yes, I like that.
Yeah, basically. And
I
so
like that a lot.
it really does feel like NRG have gotten out to an uncontested victory in this first half, assuming that they
Jet luck.
Be faster.
can mop this one up, and Artis is in a nice position to do so.
Artis hunting for the kill. It's not afraid of giving away the gun. And everyone he gets creeps him closer to the Blade Storm. On the corner there. Finesse just spotting out anyone else as well that might be hunting for the exits. If you are Crew at this point,
Oh,
you'll be trying to deny
oh,
as much
after
as
he
you
does
possibly
his
can.
stun.
The money though, awfully good. The bank roll is flowing quite nicely if you are NRG. Doesn't matter who you lose, you're still going to be able to buy.
Yeah. You're going into the final round as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
saves the
Think
gun with
about
this one.
5 ults.
Last round in the half.
Let's see if they can get
Well,
the
it
last
wouldn't be a
round.
good idea. I'm
It's a
just
very
saying they
good
could,
recovery.
you know,
Look at
they
this.
Yeah, they wouldn't be hurting. It is crazy the difference between NRG's Haven and the rest of their maps at this point. This was a team that used to have an incredibly deep map hole. I suppose you could put their icebox in a similar kind of situation, but Crew got rid of this one in that map in the series.
And so did VCT next week.
Exactly. Now, having said that, not a bad thing, because NRG at some point were the best team in the world on
Here.
Bind. But that was when Ye was playing Chamber and Chamber was in meta.
Fast pump towards the A site.
Yeah, dash is very early on, but Recon gets hit.
Attempt by Crew. I mean, this
The
is
fact that they
power
commit the
heavy.
dash in, they know they have to
Melzer.
heavy
Was
shut
he
this
attempting to
down.
refight over
Looks
this
like they
one?
were
There's a
expecting this
throw
ult
to
though. They do
Crew.
have a bit of a setup
Tagged
for
up.
this.
Paranoia didn't even hit there. Still Melzer wins the fight. Outrolling Thunder. It's an attempt to fight all the way through, but a lockdown. It's not dealt with.
Out of my way.
And if Melzer didn't go down there, he would have been
Oh
detained.
my.
Right around the side. Artis just flexing.
Do
The
they know
raw
about,
mechanics.
do they know about nags?
Close to the corner
Yeah.
here. Have to anticipate it. There was a gap in the
Nope,
lockdown,
okay.
and they're going to know now. That kill found.
Nice round, insane recovery.
4-1
4-1 to 4-8, 7 in a row.
Started to sail away with that one as it got a bit deeper.
And no problems whatsoever there. Looking like prime NRG. Crew had some ideas, but it was
Yeah,
essentially just
I
came
was
down to
wondering
let's
what the
push
hell
on
that
the
was.
defensive side. Looking
They like
quite
went to the
shallow,
replay too
probably
early, then
just
came back.
banking that they can get the
I'm
upset on
hoping.
Ascent and Pearl, to be honest.
You need a bit more nuance to your game plan if you are going to be going up against NRG on one of their favored maps, their favored territory.
Yeah,
But
okay.
enough about the first half as well. Let's send it down to the desk to hear the breakdown.
Thank you so much, gents. An 8-4 first half.
Hey, Lewis, I didn't even
for
see your
NRG
original
on their
answer,
map
I'm not gonna
choice
lie.
is going to feel good, but I actually want to take our couple minutes here during halftime to evaluate this quote coming directly from Chet and talk about how NRG might be living up to some of what is said. The quote goes, honestly, I don't
How the
really
game's
have
been
an
in
idea
NA
of
though?
things
Really
I
good.
want to do. There
They've
are
been
just so
fun.
many issues we know where we know what to do, but then we don't do it. So it's just kind of like we're making basic fundamental mistakes, and it's costing us
that's nice to
games.
hear.
Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. If you can't even get those down packed, then how can you get beyond that to deeper strategy? And so, what's your opinion, Mimi, of NRG first half and whether or not they're improving at their fundamentals?
He said that quote after their last loss, where I think it was clear that those fundamentals were a huge issue. But here, they've been clean thus far for the side of NRG. Their site execs have been well put together.
Yeah, little simple things like this where you see them swinging off each other, being able to control. They go down immediately and are able to repair this round. Artists with a great swing, the team working together. This is what they were missing before. These would have been 1v1s falling apart, and they're coming out so much more. Also in much longer rounds, giving FNS time to think of these strats and figure out crew.
And in that default,
That's kind of
they're
what we
not
wanted to
leaving
achieve
those
with the
gaps.
Coach
Like the
Potatoes
guys were
RD.
saying, they have
We'll
had
see if we do it a
Crew
little bit
down low.
better
They realized,
this
hey,
year.
we're going to be able to get this aggression out of Crew every round. We're going to be able to punish it and just go for these late round hits at advantage. Victor has consistently been finding gaps. It feels like for once, everything's hitting for NRG.
Yeah, what a time then for Crew to run into NRG just as things start to click. But let's talk real quick, Riv. How can Crew mount a comeback here, swapping to the attacking side in a 4-8 deficit?
Crew's attacking side is already decently strong. I think the retakes is where they're punished. So we're already in a good spot. We're going to be going aggressive. Focus on Kesnet. Work around, I think, where you see that energy breach. If you can avoid
Maybe Gordon.
that, even if you're going towards the,
Maybe
the
we'll see.
duelist, I think they're going to be
See when
good,
people
as
are
long as
free.
they can get into sight and get their post plan
See
slotted
how
in.
much
Enable
people can
Kesnet,
commit.
create openings and a mana advantage. We'll see if Crew can mount the comeback or if NRG close it out in easy fashion. Let's get the second half underway as we toss it back to our casters.
Right back into it here. Yeah, it's a pretty steady lead here that NRG have managed to gain in the last
Yeah,
few
Crew have to
string
win
of
pistol,
rounds,
really.
as you can see just on the timeline on our screens. And you know, looking at NRG as well to keep up that kind of momentum and form. It's something that they've been quite critical of in a lot of their losses, is not being able to, you know, carry out those advantages that they find in rounds and converting them into round
terms of their
wins,
pistol,
which is the
looking
important
like
part.
something
You've got to get
fast.
the kills and then actually win.
Over towards C.
Definitely. And one of the things about watching them here is that they just look so comfortable, right? They have
Could
no
work
issues
well.
on Haven doing that. Let's have a look at the C split. How they're going to defend this.
Are they ready to contain this? That's
Guess
going to be
it
the question
full.
on my mind. Already
Sprayed.
bursting through. Kesnet a little bit delayed. There was a flash there, though. That did push them
Some has
towards
tried
the
getting
back.
another.
Some still alive and kicking. Needs a bit of relief, though. Needs some help
Damn,
from the
this
rest of
smoke
the team.
is just
Did flash
everything
out
right
the
now.
shock. A bit late with it. Mel's has taken an individual fight. There wasn't
No
really
trades.
much of an
Molly at
attempt
spawn
at the
was
swing,
nice.
and there
Double
wasn't really
flank
much
coming
help
in.
because the help was on the flank, and Crew were making plays of their own. They're just barreling
No
all the
way.
way through. Why not?
Does he get one?
Each and every one of them holding hands, trying to take the fight. Finesse was
The mid
seeing if
rounding's
he could pick them
nice.
apart.
The reaction's
So
good.
look at
I
the
don't know if they
migrate,
knew
make that
fully
great
about numbers, but they
migration all the way
decided to
to the
just push,
opposite
take
end
some
of
map
Haven.
control, so it felt like they
Do they
knew
leave
2
anybody
people
as a
here
little trap?
behind.
No.
So yeah,
Everybody
it's
just
the
goes
round
into
the world.
site. They're going to try and play the best post-plan positions they can. It's quite similar to the first pistol, to be honest. Player disadvantage for NRG, but there's a lot of weak players on Crew.
With that damage being done, always the possibility they could win it, despite being in that 2 versus 4.
Everybody
Gilga,
is one
thank you so
shot
much,
to
Gilga.
Artist Sheriff
Welcome into
apart
the
from
Slug Club.
Davies.
Appreciate you using your prime on me. Chat, you
The
know what to do.
Frenzy
Let's see
has
the
no
slugs.
problems against weak
Thank
opponents
you, mate.
either.
Appreciate it.
Tardell
Welcome in.
There's one shot to the body. All it
Okay.
took.
And some of
As you
these are
mentioned,
low.
I know one player now close to default, and they don't want to swing out wide, but time is starting to run low, dropping down Davies.
Okay,
and
nicely
good
handled.
trading.
It's double pistol, right?
Swinging
For
out
Crew.
unnecessary
So
players
2-1.
there. Pistol round game
2-1,
for Crew,
2-0.
and maybe a chance to bring back that scoreline to somewhat of a more even one.
Maybe I just leaked the script.
Yeah, and it's not actually, weirdly, the scoreline that's been the problem, because they're going to be able to get the pistol round here, presumably the follow-up, and it's going to look like a really close game. But when it came to the
I like the reaction here. I like there was honestly a lot of good stuff from KRU in terms of this one. Right, they really wanted to deal with some backside. So we had the molly over towards spawn to make sure that we couldn't swing out. That was really nice. And then obviously just the call to go all the way around was really good. So yeah, I thought this was a great round. And that is disgusting.
That's actually gonna change things a lot as we head deeper in, because if you're not allowed to go for that jump peak, if KRU are gonna demonstrate that they will punish
yeah, that is disgusting. It's absolutely punished on that one. Okay, and in terms of how KRU are approaching this, we've got 4 rifles, so they have one person that can die, and this is going to be a rifle no matter what into the next round. So NRG need to kill 2 really to try and make this a little bit weaker. KRU are looking good. Let's see if we can have some damage with the shorty. That's 1. Okay, but they're allowed 1 death because this is going to pick up the rifle. They need 1 more really. There's their extra one. Okay, good amount of damage done now. Let's see if we can have any extra. It's got a shorty. Yeah, not on this one. Okay, still not bad though in terms of this. We're going to have a 4-1 with 4 rifles. He's going to drop this over. Mouse is going to buy his own one. Yeah, it's a good bonus. Let's see how NRG do on their fast play.
Wrapping up a bonus round really would be massive for them. They've got 3 rifles. So definitely opportunities. That C hit, or rather,
Nags is going to get dropped a pistol as well from someone.
Is going to be a nice thing if they can throw that in once more throughout the half. Really,
maybe
just make sure that those
yeah, there we go.
are very scared.
And we want to set someone up over towards A very early on. We have the Breach playing here as well, not doing the stun from here, so Breach playing short. And this is going to work well. Shock just missed. Or didn't miss, maybe just didn't do enough damage to it. They force them back in there. They're going to have no idea about the alarm bot, to be honest with you.
Particularly spread out by KRU, really just grouping up together.
I mean, it's crazy how much value they're still getting out of that alarm bot. They know that there's no one
drone's
there.
gone over and just cleared a little bit of middle in terms of the smoke as well. Means that they can feel very confident to do this.
And they can leave that completely and stack 3A. I don't think KRU
and this bait in is really nice. Even though he dies, the bait is pretty good, but they don't push up.
Head to head, but
damn, I like the calling at the moment from KRU.
It all down once more, so maybe this is that.
It wasn't too bad from Artist. He was really trying to sell us, and then he was hoping that this person in the corner would get 2 trigger discipline, maybe even more. So it honestly was fine.
Wanted to see out of them.
And they have pulled defender rotations over to A, burst through garage, everything down to Som.
Stun goes in, recon goes here. We have to play retake.
Smoke in his face, it does push him all the way through.
It's a very good round. He heard that though. Yeah, he heard that, and Som was ready for it. Kesnick gets taken down. Good stun from him. They're all here early. They're going to flood in. Smoke goes down soon.
Som's already found all this space into the back. Lit up all the way through. No one's in it with the dart. Where is the protocol? Not in sight. Not in the slightest.
Yeah, and who's this at spawn? Played for probably just let that one slip, to be honest with you. They had a very good chance into this. They really let that one slip a little bit.
The way that KRU are playing the post plan is that Kesnit's supposed to be able to give them information into backside, and when he falls,
the recon was nice as well though.
Look at them, they've got 2 inside the smoke and 1 tucked at default.
Yeah.
They were not ready for NRG to go that quickly into backside, and that's Som continuing to control that area by finding a slim opportunity and a kill on
They do enough damage.
Massive one.
Yeah, they did enough damage. So massive swing round.
Want to push down mid this round.
At least to threaten it. We're going to be a stun on top of that one. Dash forward.
Oh boy.
It's a flash as well through, but
does the recon get shot? No, it doesn't. But they realize that he's middle. It's a good question mark created over towards middle. That forces them to use their drone nice and early.
It's very cool seeing all of these
teams
I
like the change from NRG here.
But a lot of them not pairing it with the Soveralt, which is one of the things that Leo does so well in that situation, to give Durka even more space. Kesnit has been on fire in terms of taking these duels against Artis. He won one in the prior round on a very similar, tiny angle.
Looks like we've entered that attack round, and suddenly the advantage has switched around. Victor Claus!
What the hell? Some managed to get one as well. Can he get another?
On a swivel.
He's on his own, fully on his own. Damn. Didn't feel comfortable that he could get out of there. Obviously, the call for the recon was made as well that it was coming in. This is very... I mean, it's all up to FNS. Do they expect it?
Turret's not watching it.
Yeah, they know now didn't get anything for it. Peek off the stun. Clearing close for him so he doesn't have to worry.
KRU adapt, they adjust, taking back side control.
They're hitting some shots at the moment.
Crash is taken care of. They know where Finesse is now. Last one there, standing for them.
Damn, nicely done. 3 of them stay alive as well. Really good round for them. The worrying thing for NRG now is everyone's really close to their ult, so when it gets that big buy round, they might have a bit of trouble. So, yeah, we'll see how much damage they can do on the low buy. Yeah, gonna call a pause into this one. It's real close to getting out of control, to be honest with you.
Is kind of dominating the first kills in this half. Ardis has not found an opening.
See the situation with HSDIR. They just sacked it all off, right? They're just done, Lewis.
And those first duels are really important. And we actually...
I think they're going to reshape the Tier 2 EMEA system at one point. I think it makes the most sense. Especially with how much the Americas, or like the NA1 is thriving, I think they can...
And Ardis said, I'm not sure, we're just not winning, to be honest.
I think they can rework it and make it pretty good.
We're always losing advantageous
There's still some good orgs out there, and it will be a little bit harder to break into the Tier 2 stuff for players, but I think it will be better for the ecosystem and everyone.
Situations that they'd let slip away. I mean, combined.
Do we know when the Fnatic Koi game is moved to? Not that I know of. I don't know if anyone else in chat has any idea about that. Panda_Val, thank you so much. What is the ideal number of agents for the game is? I don't know. I'm kind of fine with them just carry on going. It will get too much at one point, but just let it be.
None of their player disadvantage situations.
I think they said they might slow it down at one point.
Keeps running away with it.
So that's probably a good sign.
Keeps going. He's winning those opening fits.
Okay, this is, although it doesn't seem like it is, this is still a pretty impactful round. NRG needs to do a lot of damage here. KRU can really stack up a lot of ults into this. Okay, and they're getting this AWP into this round, which makes... I mean, that means they want to use it into this round here, so... They're trying to make sure that they can get a really clean round against the eco and start getting the money online.
Enough there from Ardis, who's hoping for the head.
So they picked up the orb, and they picked up the orb to get the ult, and then he was first contact.
Close there. Doesn't actually clear that much, surprisingly, but still the angle's watched for. Yet another shot landed, does weaken 2 of the players, so no kills going their way regardless.
This is just a round where NRG are trying to gamble, trying to find where KRU will end. But this anti-eco situation, if KRU can clean it up, and it looks like they should be able to, is going to put them back to a winning position on Haven. And like I said before, I really would have counted KRU out of this map, essentially. And the fact that they're keeping it close and finding their opportunities, and Kesnit's winning his duels, it should worry NRG for the rest of the series.
Some low HPs here. I mean, that might be one.
Set some right to try and get that first win in the America split, but yes, it's
did negative damage.
NRG even more so. Another team that
okay, very nice, good round from them, and they didn't even need to use these ults into it. This is going to be a hard round for NRG. Ardis saved enough money for the op, so here we go. We've seen 3 rounds where Ardis has an op on defense, 100% win rate so far. Let's keep on track of it.
I mean, just to reference the same interview I was talking about earlier, Ardis was asked whether the sense of urgency has finally kicked in for them. And he said, it's already kicked in. It kicked in for that game that they lost against Cloud9. So if there was a sense of urgency for that, the alarm bells will be ringing.
Okay, let's see. Goes over towards short.
In a game like this.
Smoke is here, though.
Be an adjustment now for NRG.
Nice shot from him.
That's what Kesnet wants to take. Okay. A fight all the way through. Ardis was ready for it. You could hear the footsteps and adjustments were made there yet again.
Victor gets... Damn.
Trying to make the most of that one as well. I think it was a bit of a solo push down.
C. Did
get the 1 kill, but eventually traded.
He just solo push with an Omen over towards C, but I guess they were 4v5. It's fine. I'll let him off. I mean, he nearly got both, to be honest with you. 23 HP. It was a nice reposition from FNS.
to win the round.
Yeah, it was 4v5. It was fine. He had to try and do something.
Start to look at potentially just coalescing on these players that are starting to swarm onto C.
Looking like they're not considering it. FNS Masterclass. Good reposition.
As the bullets rain onto them. The crew players grouped up, none the wiser. Left down to nags it. So much to do.
Okay, nicely handled. 4 rounds. Ardis has had a op on defense with Jet. 4 out of 4, 100% win rate. Still.
Huge ultimates here for both teams.
There was a lot of ults. I mean,
where it's going to
I'm surprised they
define a lot
didn't
of the
use any
momentum heading
ults kind of
forward.
early on here, and they took a bit of a risk through the smoke.
Finesse does a great job in this just to
Well,
control
9 ults.
Melzer. If Melzer gets
9 ults into
pinned
this.
down as well,
Okay,
that round
here we
is
go.
just going the way of crew. Yeah. So Finesse making
9
play there
ults,
by relying on his aim and
and
his positioning.
these people can't buy
Ardis is
next
taking the
round, but
operator over to
NRG
C.
will be able to because
As
of
crew
knives.
try to find another gap. It's a very different defensive setup here.
Yeah, this is odd as well. Normally you expect that Killjoy util to be towards mid, but instead it's all the way over towards A.
Actually, he's
and
going to get
drone
info.
has to
We
be
don't
used.
have the breach here
Fast
to
play
do the
towards
damage
it.
in
Rolling
time,
thunder
but
for
that
this
will
one.
work.
This one.
Breach, oh, they
Plan,
really
and
wanted
Crew
to
can
deny
actually
this
be quite
plant.
happy
They
with
don't
that.
get
Didn't
anything
lose
off it.
anyone.
They'll
Pulled the
take that
ultimate
as a
out,
bit of
but
a
with
win.
that
That did
spray.
connect.
Oh, offering potentially an easy shot. Kesnet was dropped down to 67 health. Victor.
Victor's just jiggling this angle, and when he finds somebody, he can leave.
Damn,
Okay, a bit of a
FNS gets
fake
2
there for
here.
Finesse to swing out
Holy
wide.
hell.
Yeah, that's a bit bonkers. Wasn't expecting that to happen. I thought Finesse was going to flash off the alarm bot contact.
Oh, just takes the fight and gets 2 for it. Why not?
What a chat.
IGL stepping up. Lockdown's used, though. That's a Hunter's Fury to try and disrupt
Oh
it.
my
Push it back.
goodness.
Counterplay by Crashies. He was hunting.
Wait, how
to try
is
and counteract the
how is
ultimate as well.
Davies
Maybe
getting
latch
that
onto it,
though?
maybe get a kill,
Ardis
but
committed
is
over
there gonna be
towards
any
the
damage done?
site.
Looks like
We've
it.
still got the
80
ults.
to
It's a
Nags.
3-on-3.
Davies might look to try and use his Rolling Thunder aggressively, but Som's on the lurk already, and Som has found an avenue past any potential utility.
Davies
The
still
Torrent
has
and
ult.
Alarmbot are both on site. Here he comes.
Crashies was holding the dart just for that moment. No one ready to break it. Flank timing really just suited
all
up,
up to
and now we
Nags
just
to
need
hit the
sync
shot.
up. NRG to try and take the
He's
fight
not even
here.
looking
Yeah,
too
all
scared of
way
the heaven
together.
jump peek.
Still one more player
Nicely
right
handled
there.
from
That's
NRG.
Davies
Som did
dealt
everything.
with.
Good flank from them. I mean, technically, 5
Big flank by
5
Som.
out of 5, 100% win rate.
Makes that
Not
game
that it
with
was
his play.
down much to the op at all, but we'll still include that
All of the
because
ultimates
that's
thrown
how
out to
stats
just
work.
essentially neutralize each other. I want to see a replay of
Nicely done from
Finesse
Som.
with the swing. I'm amazed that he just went for that, really. And the fact that he got 2. That's 2 rounds in a row
Let's
that
see
he's
it.
got that. Here
Let's
it
see the
is.
aim god.
Ludicrous. I mean, he was just getting onto the line, I think, to flash
Damn.
through.
Yeah,
Light armor
I
diff.
think the idea there is that Finesse is supposed to be trying to cross.
Oh no,
in
it
order
wasn't
to
even light
get
armor diff. That
tucked
was the
behind
tag at middle,
box
right?
So that they can run the trap play.
There's tag at
You
middle
know, he
diff.
just wants to get into that position, and instead he just took contact as he was walking over and smoked them.
Yes, this too.
Ah, this op diff. So it did have the impact.
Yeah.
So the 100% is still very... Yeah, there we go.
Fortunate one for Crew.
It's
And
getting
the
the
line by Crew's
impact.
face, this one looks like
Getting
it's
the
got some pace
impact at the
behind it.
moment.
They're gonna up the tempo
If
and
anything, it
seize
was all down to
As
the
per
op
usual,
buy,
rolling
if you
thunder.
ask me.
Push on the way back into the C site. Clearance is there, and Victor. Cheeky lurk timing.
Okay, this round is going to be hard, but they have Astra ult, and we need to have some kind of map control because they don't have much at the moment, so that's on Crashies.
I mean, he's on his own and he's already got a kill.
Good after
So
pump
his
positions at the moment for
positioning's
Melzer.
He's
He
going
has
to
a
get
flash
flanked.
as well. It's going to be
Crashies.
devastating.
Crew needs to help Nags.
Crashies, he's going to find it. Yeah, there's no help in sight.
And
Everybody's
he was
playing
way
up
too
onto
confident
the
that his
site.
alarm bot
So,
was going to spot someone there.
Drone now. Pushing forwards. Dart still available as well. Tagging up the players. Do they want to take the fight? They do. NRG starting to move forwards. Lighting up the players. Crashies is just making a mockery of this, isn't he? All the youths are
Astra
getting so
ult
much
get
value.
absolutely wrecked.
Because of
Holy
good
hell,
eyes,
we got to see
side
a
for the
hero play.
Fuse. It's up to Heroics.
Nicely
Can't get away
handled.
with it this time.
Nicely
Despite the fact
handled.
that the knives will pull
Okay,
out, and it's
really, really
NRG.
nice. 6 out of
Find
6
themselves now onto
out of the
that
whole
map
split.
point.
Ardis being a jet op.
The way that
100% win
NRG
rate
playing
still.
this C
4
kind of
chances to win
flood
this one.
retake setup is really good. From round 15 and the last couple
I'm
of
trying to
we've
be
seen from
Ardis'
them.
agent. Nah, I saw a lot of people on
It's very
Reddit
nice.
that
The
was saying that I had a
utility
bad take
combinations from both
in
their
terms of him being like a jet op player, so I'm kind of
super
just want to
strong,
prove it with
and
stats.
Som has always
Not
got
that
a
I'm
pull
bitter or
for
anything,
the
but that's
players
just the
over
kind
at
of person
default
that I
makes
am.
it uncomfortable.
It's nice
Distracts
to
them.
prove that you're
Recon
right
darts never
sometimes.
getting broken. It's almost too easy. Crew just cannot hold on in the post plan. They're so focused as well on trying to push back the players from CT. They just allow Nags to die. even though they're in an
Not
advantage
that I'm bad at
situation.
that.
Leaving him there, just, I suppose, just expecting that nobody would clear that one-sided garage, despite the fact that he was already, you know, re-lurking that position. But
They should know better than that.
they should, yeah.
If
Better from out the subreddit.
take
It's
that
fine.
round into
Again,
a
I'm
vulnerability,
really good
they'll
with
be,
comments. I'm just,
I'll be
it's
bitterly
just
disappointed with the
sometimes you just
decision-making,
gotta
but
put some
that's what
emphasis on
happens when
stuff.
you're in the moment and you're playing
Get
against a
the-
team
get the
that's
word
as
out
dangerous as
there.
NRG on Haven. You end up not having the bandwidth.
And they might be looking back at this particular instance here where, listen, it was a close match. And they brought that scoreline between them. But it's NRG that have gone on a bit of a string of rounds as of late now. One away from that map point. I think KRU at this timeout, hoping that they can bring it all the way through because they've done the necessary legwork. If they can take away Haven, it would be a huge win against a team like NRG where, listen,
All right.
we've been talking about the strength of their map pool. It has been weakening as of late. Haven
let's
is
keep
one
it
of the
going.
better ones for them.
It would be ridiculous.
Let's keep
if
it
Crew
going.
were to
4
win.
chances
But
for
it
this
feels
one.
a lot like the first half,
And they get a
where
pretty
Crew
good
win the
buy.
pistol,
Killjoy
they get
up.
another couple, but
Looking
NRG
like
have
the
already got
stand
them
fast
downloaded
over
by the time
towards
it gets
short,
to this point.
and that is what they're
NRG
accepting is
give
going to
the
happen.
A-side
And we are
completely
in
here.
place to
Yeah.
do the
Expecting a
damage,
lot
but we
down
don't
to
have
come
anything
through,
for that,
perhaps.
right?
This is KRU just taking all that space.
Damn,
and
that's a
well,
big kill.
okay. Oh, just finding that shot. Not sure what
They're not
that
going to
was
fast
off. I believe there
retake
was a
this
smoke
though,
in
are
his
they?
face. They would have
Oh,
flooded
yes
into
they
this,
are.
pushing all the way into the back.
Damn, that's a
Davies
shot
still
from
in
Artis. What the hell?
Still alive.
There's a smoke
Still
there
kicking.
though. How the hell has he got
But
that
Artis
kill?
is getting all these kills, and I'm not sure how he's doing it. I mean, feels like he shouldn't be expected to. He's actually
Artis, what have you done
detained
there,
up
though,
into
mate?
heaven.
What is going on there?
Melter drops back to safety with the rest of his team. I mean, it's all over the place. 3 on 3. Util still available. Davies with the fault line. Buys him a bit of time. This time the dart's not going to be getting too much value, so it's broken. But holding
Nicely
the
done
first
from
contact is
Davies.
gonna be that re-swing
Good
from
trades
Evans
on this one.
side.
Nicely done
Yeah,
from
so-
KRU. Okay, first round they've lost 6 out of 7.
I
And
think
he
that
made
retake
it
would have looked a lot
dumb.
better had Artis not got detained. Hot take.
Really odd. I mean,
What a dumb mistake.
yeah.
Don't understand it.
Okay.
I really don't. I mean, maybe
4
he
chances
just
down
fired
to
up
3.
by the fact that he'd gotten those 2 kills by
He got
pushing
2.
the very
It
boundaries
doesn't
of it.
matter. The facts are still there.
He overstepped himself.
I
Hardly
believe
Stats are
tell
he
what it
stats.
was
might have
from
just
his
heard
POV.
Mel's TP and tried to punish in a split second.
Possibly.
That's what I'm thinking. But
Yeah.
I wonder how he got the
it's
second
possible.
kill though. It kind of looked kind of nuts, to be
Crew
honest
will
with you.
take that though,
they absolutely will.
and that's a big difference from the first to the second half. Because KRU never had an answer. Once the ball started rolling for NRG, KRU just got swept aside.
Recon goes in. They clear this off, but
Very deep
the
line here
recon
for
got
Artis in
shot,
short.
so they have
Some has a
to.
judge as well. So the idea being,
Okay,
if
I think he got
Artis
to the
gets
angle
pushed
before they
away
can
in
get
the
out.
early round,
So,
they'll
or
run
he
into
heard or
Som's
saw the
judge.
TP. Something happened.
But
There's
now
an
that
interaction
Artis
that
hasn't
off
seen anything,
that we would have
Som
seen
might
from
be
Artis to
wanting
understand it.
reposition. And I'm not just talking to watch long. Might be looking for the full rotate.
In terms of this one, no ults. We got a judge over towards Som. Where is Som? Getting set up over towards short, baited in with the op.
Take it towards them now, one round
And
at a time. They've got
NRG have been trying very hard to prevent this plant when it goes over towards B. We literally saw a breach ult to stop this, so I wonder if they don't want this to happen. Yeah, they really don't want this to happen. Over towards spawn crash, he's doing the ult. We saw this ult yesterday from someone, 100 Thieves.
An attempt now
Derek.
again at that plant, so putting themselves up into the post plant. Davies was dropped down to 5 out in the middle of somewhere in all of this.
So yeah, they really wanted to prevent this plant from happening. Let's kind of see if we can find out why. I mean, it could be a nightmare. They smoke this off, they isolate the 3 players on site. 3 players on site, that's a lot though. Yeah, that's KRU looking good on this one.
Oh my goodness!
What a spam!
Yep. Found the angle, didn't he? Right through
Yeah,
the
really
smoke.
good. Got to save this one.
And it has to be.
As soon
And
as
yeah,
Kesnick
maybe
gets
that's
those
why
2
they wanted
kills,
to stop the plant all of these
NRG
times.
can't
Didn't manage
complete.
to get the kill with the ult.
A deep aggressive post plant play by KRU. They committed 3
Okay,
to
6
the
out of
site.
8.
Definitely an area where you can get overwhelmed by the utility that comes through. But Kesnick wins the duel and then has a nice angle through the smoke.
Some of the Coach Potatoes content, I streamed it ages ago, man, but I'm not sure the VODs will be there. So you might just have to wait for a little bit. You didn't miss out on too much. It was pretty much just like rank 5s. We didn't do any of like the strat planning or anything that we were planning to do.
Normally they go to a different site, but
We were talking earlier, Bren, about NRG losing advantage situations. And I made the point that mostly I think that's been exhibited by them losing their 5v4s. Like I said, against MIBR final map, they had 20 first kills, but they only won 12 of those rounds. Against Cloud9, they had more 5v4s as well. They only won about half of those rounds. So that's been the big area where losing when they're up
Please inform how many chances.
materialized,
We're into
this
it in
would
the
be
game,
very
come on.
different. They were up 12-8. They had 4 opportunities to convert and put Crew away map 1. If this ends up going to
No
overtime,
one has time.
if
No one
Crew
has
can
time in
pull
the
this
beta.
through on NRG's
We need the
best map
off-season.
that they have access to in this map pool, I think the confidence is really going to start to crumble for NRG.
It's a team that we don't talk about that, when we're talking narratives for this NRG squad, the Optic core, they're historic. They've got that experience under their belt. They shouldn't be faltering under that kind of pressure, but
at the same
Right,
time,
4 chances
NRG
in
have
half,
never
down to
actually
2
had a period
chances.
of slumping
They
like
get
this.
in there.
This core has always been
Money's
able
a
to
little
bounce
bit
back
low
quickly.
again.
Or,
And
have
honestly,
tournaments where they've placed deep.
they're going to
A group
have
stage
2
game
9
where
loss
they lose
bonus
and
on
then
top of
immediately
this.
bounce back. They've always
So the
found
buy won't
answer.
be great. They
They've always had that
might
trust that they
need
will
to
find
save
the
if this
answers
round goes
eventually.
badly. We'll keep an eye on it. No ults for a while though either, so
double chances. See if they can close out this map.
what's the stun
One
like?
that was expected of them, anticipated.
Hardest Reach takes the
Dodging
angle.
there of the fault line, moving
Big
forwards.
miss.
The shot missed. Ardis. He had his chance. He had his opportunity.
Do they expect
They've left
Crashy to be here
forwards
early?
here. No one's going to clear in this.
I tell you what, Ardis smoked the recon though. That was kind of everything there, but Crashy still went for the first shot. I think he got spotted. I wasn't fully watching it. I was actually looking at the dart. Holy hell!
Certainly dropping all the way down from the high ground position. Flutter all the way through, and this could be it.
A.
Hook line sinker.
Oh,
Nags is the last one standing. It's a
I mean,
1v2.
no one has to do anything.
Maybe
Ardis
he's
can
made
just hold
this
the angle.
A bit more winnable. Can he drag it?
he knows the Ops heaven.
Can he find the isolated fight?
Ah, look at him, nice
a
brain
wider
there.
swing, a wider peek. He knows where one of them is, but he does not know that close
Ardis
corner
repositions.
is where
Small
Son
chance for
is
this 1-on-1.
looking for,
Okay,
and the timing
nicely
is
done.
just
What is it?
13
7 out of 9
NRG
altogether.
eventually close it out.
So 7 out of
So
9
Haven goes
altogether.
their way.
Yeah, it was a nice smoke of the recon. Meant that the Crashies, I think it was Crashies in the corner, could just kind of focus on the jewels.
A comeback at the end there, but a very nice timeout called.